what else. We played a lot of games this year already. So I don't think...
Yeah, more from Coach Hugo Bruce and our updates coming up after the news. Usphelele Chiliza are standing by at Vuma FM and Dilenko Seguyo Iran's FM. It is top of the hour. Here's the news.
Hit by heavy rains. The Weather Service has also sent out an alert for thunderstorms in the province. Ekurhuleni EMS spokesperson William Ntladi.
So what's happening currently is we have sent out firefighters to those areas which are known to be flooding areas. But so far, everything is going very well.
Civil rights group Action SA or Action Society says there must be justice in the assault case involving former bodyguards of Deputy President Paul Mashatile. Today, the 8 men who were attached to SAPS's VIP Presidential Protection Unit appeared before the Randburg Magistrates Court, where they failed to get their charges dropped. The officers are accused of assaulting civilians on the side of the Johannesburg N1 highway in July 2023. Tabiso Goba reports.
The Randburg Magistrates Court dismissed the main charges in the Section 174 discharge application of the 8 accused officers. They all will continue to face charges for assault GBH and causing malicious damage to property. They were all found not guilty of defeating the ends of justice, while only a select few will be charged with the violating of the Firearms Controls Act and negligent driving. Spokesperson for Action Society, Juanita Dupria.
We are very satisfied with the ruling today, even though some of the more minor charges were dropped. We are satisfied that the main charges, the ones that we are concerned about, is continuing, and that in March, finally, we will approach justice to be served.
The trial resumes on the 23rd of March next year. Tabiso Goba, Eyewitness News.
And the United States says there will be a 10% reduction in air travel capacity at 40 of its major airports. This comes as unpaid air traffic controllers face growing fatigue and staff shortages during the longest government shutdown on record. The workers have been working unpaid since the shutdown began last month, and most of them have been on duty 6 days a week while putting in mandatory overtime. Last week saw some of the worst staffing shortages of the shutdown. Transport Secretary Sean Duffy.
I anticipate there will be additional disruptions. There will be frustration. We are working with the airlines. They're going to work with passengers. But in the end, our sole role is to make sure that we keep this airspace as safe as possible.
A cloudy Friday in store for Gauteng tomorrow with afternoon thundershowers expected. Joburg drops to 13, reaching 19. Pretorius at 15 and 20. Vereniging 13 and 17. Monkey Ziko Go. Eyewitness News.
EWN. In touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
#MSW.
You may begin to feel anxious or excited.
Honest, deliberate, engaging, uncensored.
High dosage administration can cause adverse reactions.
And most importantly, independent in mind and execution.
This is a normal response. Are you ready?
Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Robbie, do they still call you Madluput?
They always, why not?
Bob?
Of course.
Everything.
MSW.
Why? It's multicast, Baba.
You know the story.
Also, it's 4/7.
Everywhere.
I don't know, maybe you are still calling Mr. Madluputu, or maybe that does not exist.
Sure, Robbie.
World Cup, here we come.
Mustn't be MPMP.
I'm not new. Why you are saying I'm new?
Ake ngubingelele emsakazi ngesiqinje sakudala. Ngithi nje kuwena, diye emsakazi, awusuka madoda, diye emsakazi.
We are not interested in the matter. We are going to the World Cup. We've qualified.
Vincent Seka, he was not present when the second card was issued.
We are not going to dwell on what is behind us. Is behind us.
SC has left the field to fetch ice for the players.
So the matter is closed.
Whatever they're talking about, that is nonsense, Robert. They're talking nonsense, these people. That guy is supposed to be fired from his work because he can't do his work right. They're talking nonsense, Robert.
So the matter is closed.
Mobile Ndlovu, Director, Cash and Sport Research and Advisory.
So there's a lot of money at stake. and to then say that, someone can make an excuse that, no, it's going to get iced. It just says to people, well, that we don't really care because we can do what we want.
I agree with those who are saying Mr. Mackenzie must resign. I was defending him by thin and thick, but today...
And I'm asking the South African soccer-loving public that we must move forward and we must move forward stronger.
I don't know I'm going to be admitted in Masakane Clinic or Edenvale Hospital. This is very sad. Rob.
South Africa's very own, commanding respect across North Africa. Live right now, though, in MSW, the head coach of MC Alger, Rulani Mukwena.
I think my philosophy as a coach, just as a person, is I try to give the best that I can all the time and to try to win every single match. It's not always possible, but we have to try. And this is the mentality that we have. Even with MC Alger, the players are responding to this.
Robert Marawa, live on 947. Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live. #MSW.
All right, we're going to be monitoring the cricket with a cricket legend already. Hey, she's back in the country. Looking forward to chatting to Kass Naidoo. So any comments or questions, feel free to send those right now on 060 708 0484. Otherwise, give us a call on 011 888 947. Lots of stories to catch up on. This is the Thursday edition of Marawa Sports Worldwide, proudly brought to you by Hollywood Bets.
Let's go!
The moments you remember. The games you can't forget. Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947, Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets.
Right, still talking about international sport. Now, the Springboks head into Saturday's showdown against European champions France with a blend of experience and strategic tweaks here and there. Usia Kolisi is going to be captaining the side for the 100th time, becoming the 9th Springbok Centurion. While Rassie Erasmus marks his 50th test as head coach. One of more unexpected selections, though, of Boan Venter, the Edinburgh base prop who replaces the injured Oxen Chair as loose head. Erasmus, though, expressed confidence in the 26-year-old's readiness.
Very much the same like we did last week. A guy like Boan has played already 5 test matches for us, and again to put him there with Malcolm and Thomas, we'll rather let him swim in this tough river here, which is a great field where it's I almost said it the same with Zach when he played last weekend. You rather have him there in the start and see how he managed. We really rate Boan highly. It's unfortunate that we lost Jan Hendrik being suspended, and then obviously also lost Ox with off the ball tackle, and unfortunately he's out for quite some time. Luckily Gerard is back, so certainly there was difficult choices. Leaving a guy like Ethan Hooker out of the mix, who's been really playing well. Kanan is really also playing well for us. When Krappie's got his chance, he played awesome rugby. Quagga and Marco was 2 guys. Franco played excellent last week. So it's never easy to pick a team. But I think the team do understand that the guys know if things goes according to plan this weekend. Most of the guys know who's playing next week against Italy. So I think the squad is buying in what we're trying to do. Most important thing is now to try and get the result at a very tough stadium against a very good French team.
All right, so celebrating a very big moment, Sia Kolisi, his 100th cap, though, for the Springboks. Erasmus has responded, though, to suggestions that his team selections and public comments are part of a psychological ploy, insisting, though, that his focus is purely on fielding the best possible side.
I think people take mind games from our side, definitely. Everything we do, people see as mind games. What I'm trying to do when I put a team out there, if you check, I just put our team and our weights and our caps and stuff out of there. That's for communicating with our South African supporters and for them to get a little bit more depth and insight into what our team looks like and how it compares to their team. And I think the South African supporters are really into it and understand it. And the more you give them, the more they understand. So what they do in their camp really doesn't have an influence what we do in our camp. We play for South Africa for the Springboks, and we play away from home, and it will be a lonely place on that field. But we know there's millions of people in South Africa. So what they do is got no influence on how we prepare and how we do our things.
So Saturday's clash against France in Paris will be more than just a battle for rankings. It's a celebration of two giants of SA rugby. As you heard there, Siya Kolisi, 100th time is going to be running out of the box. The 9th time that a player reaches a century of test caps for South Africa. Erasmus, in the meantime, though, he's going to be marking his 50th test in charge, a milestone that reflects as well his enduring impact on the national team.
Yeah, my 50th is really not a big thing. I mean, we haven't even mentioned it. We saw it the other 2 days ago in the media. So, just to be part of the team for me is awesome, and part of being representing South Africa in whatever capacity it was in the past, from technical analyst to assistant coach to director of rugby. It's just really lucky to be in the Springbok environment with a lot of South Africans really behind us. So that's lekker. Siya's 100th test match, I think, there is only 9 guys that's played the 100th test match. I think he was on cap 25 when we picked him as captain. And yeah, the biggest thing that I can probably give him credit for, he's never always played brilliantly, because like all of us, your form dips and injury comes, and personal things happen to you, and sometimes you think with an injury, am I still good enough? Both World Cups he was doubtful right up until the World Cup, but he always sit with Cooper at 35, playing probably 25 years old, playing probably the best rugby of his life, and so we're very proud of Siya. We're proud of being part of him reaching that milestone. But there's a lot of other guys that's close to milestones, who's on 47 caps, 48 caps, 93 caps, 97 caps. So I think there's a lot of them that's going to come now. But at the end of the day, like Siya handled it and like Eben handled it, when those big milestones come, if you make those things bigger than the match, then you normally tend to come second in that match. So his humbleness is something that's just a standout for me always.
Well, from one national team to another, Bafana coach Hugo Broos has named a 23-player squad for this month's friendly against Zambia. That game to be staged in Gqeberha on the 15th of November.
So, the selection for the team of the selection for the Zambia friendly. So, goalkeepers: Ronwen Williams, Ricardo Goss, and Sifo Shane. Defenders: Kuliso Mudau, Tabang Matuludi, Tabo Malwasane, and Konsinati Sibisi, Aubrey Modiba, Kulumani Ndamane, and Samukelo Kabini, and Bekezeli Pambokazi. So midfielders: Tebogo Mokoena, Masindi Nemtajela, Batusi Obas, Talente Mbata, and Spegelo Sitole. Strikers: Oswin Napolis, Muhau Nkota, Tsepang Moremi, Evidence Magopa, Lyle Foster, Sifo Mbule, and Keletso Makalwa. So those are the 22 players for the friendly game against Zambia.
Right, so the big talking point has been around Thembinkosi Lorch. So Hugo Broos has explained, though, his continued mission of Thembinkosi Lorch, despite the winger's impressive start to the 2025-26 season in Morocco, where he has scored 4 goals in 8 matches and turned heads in the FIFA Club World Cup.
You have to make choices. That's all. And Lorch was once against us, I think 3 years ago, when we played in Morocco. And he was playing very good in Pirates at that moment. His performance was not good. And then I followed him, and then he played, and then he didn't play, and in Pirates he got out of the team, and then he went to Sundowns because Rulani wanted him, but after a few months he didn't play anymore. So okay, now he's playing good in Morocco. But you have to look also as it is. This is not the future. I'm very sorry. This is not the future. And if I shouldn't have other opportunities, okay, maybe I should take him, maybe. But it happened also 4 years ago with Temba. And I wanted to look for opportunities, but I didn't find them, and I had to come back, and I had to take Temba, and it was a very good decision that I took him, because you see what happens with the team then. But again, for Lodge, for the moment, I don't see, even he has good performances in Morocco, I don't see any reason why I should take him with the team. Yeah, Steve, yeah, but I don't think that Ling has the level that we need in Bafana.
Right, so Coach Hugo Broos there just cementing why he is leaving out a player of the caliber of Lodge. I don't know what you think. I'm sure you guys will always comment. You know the numbers, you know where to react. We'd love to hear from you about those and other related. I see Kaizer Chiefs fans are still also up in arms saying, hey, why are we getting left behind in terms of our players? Hey, Mdu Shabalala is playing so well. Why leave him out? Hey, he says he's got a decision to make. So decisions he makes, just like we make our decisions in terms of who we invite. And that decision has come to fruition here tonight, guys. I mean, from the roar of the crowd, I could go back to the weekend in Mumbai. I mean, that rhythm of that ocean in Colombo, the 2025 ICC Women's Cricket World Cup. I think it was more than a tournament. It got all of us talking, excited. I think if you look at the response, people that rocked up at the OR Tambo International Airport, really something, a revolution of some kind have really sparked here in South Africa. But the tournament, I mean, it was a run fest. It was rewriting of history. There was boundaries that kind of flowed. It was almost like poetry. Sixes, left, right, and center. But for once, though, it wasn't Australia. It wasn't England standing tall, but a new champion. We're talking about India, and we congratulate them. You know, worthy victors. I guess they were victorious in a final for ages, man. You know, when they talk about the final for the ages, that's the one that we're talking about. Overcoming a fearless South African side that captured the hearts around the world. Now, this was a World Cup for the batters. If you look at the numbers, a celebration of power, precision, passion. And through every over, every emotion, one voice carried it all. Carried the energy, the pride, the tears, the triumph. And that is why we always say that she's a trailblazer, visionary, a founder of G Sport for Girls, and one of the most respected voices in international cricket. She's called finals. I mean, she's shattered all sorts of barriers, inspired generations. From the commentary box in Visakhapatnam. I mean, that's a city that holds a cherished chapter of a family's history. And to witness the sheer joy of women's cricket reaching those new highs and to have her here in studio tonight is a massive joy for us. Kass Naidoo, good evening and welcome. Welcome back home.
It's always good to be back home.
What's the feeling?
I always say I take the week that I come back to ground back to home.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy to get carried away. And it was a weekend to get carried away. And we did. Women's cricket will never be the same again. But I was back packing school lunches this morning, making pancakes, signing forms for camps for next year, finding out about exams and Afrikaans homework. I was so happy to do that because I was craving it.
Yeah.
I was kind of getting towards the end of the tour, looking forward to normalcy. The jacarandas are still in bloom, so I was so delighted to see that when I got home. But it's, I'm always so grateful when I finish a tour and I can come back to this. And I will spend the next couple of days taking stock.
When you're on that flight and you're flying back and you're starting to take it all in, I mean, I don't know if you're on the same flight as the ladies, the Protea women. But if you weren't, if you were, you'll tell me. What is it that goes through your mind about the tournament, what you've just witnessed, what you've had to endure, what you've had to reflect? Because we depend so much on your energy and what you say. Every word, we kind of take it all in.
It's such a good question because I woke up on the morning of the final and it wasn't a first ever final ever for the Proteas women, although it was the first ever in the ODI format. So I was trying to figure out what was that feeling I was feeling. And it was the feeling that for the first time ever in the history of the Cricket World Cup, neither England nor Australia would be in the final. So that was already a big tick. But the prayer that I fervently prayed that morning was, if South Africa didn't win, that I be given the strength to be happy for India, to stand on that field and be able to celebrate a team that is not South Africa. Because I would have known how to celebrate South Africa. Perhaps I would have cried on the field because we've been waiting for this for such a long time. But I prayed that I had the presence of mind to be present. And I'm so glad that I could do that because I'd never experienced a feeling like that in my entire career. The sheer joy, the passion, those emotions I can still feel course through my veins at the moment. So when I was coming home, I was watching old cheesy sitcoms on the flight so I could decompress, uncricket, and just start getting excited about coming home. But you know that I'm always grateful to do this tour. It's an extreme sport, leaving the children at home. So another World Cup in the bag, but so much to learn, even from our perspective as broadcasters, not just the teams. Everyone that has left that World Cup has left changed.
I can imagine that Rake will get a very special Christmas present for having held the fort so beautifully. And I know he's listening. Going to come back after the break, continue our conversation. She's happy to be back home. And I think a couple of fundamental things that she talked about that I want to pick up on, because the attention to detail that she focuses on in the commentary is the exact same attention to detail that we focus on when she's back, relaxed, and just relaying back a tournament that really got the world. I mean, when CNN goes crazy about cricket, then you know the world's changed.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live at the same time. #MSW.
Hello, Mzansi. I want to speak about something dear to my heart. The levels of soullessness in the world. Hey, go barehead. There are 8.2 billion people in the world, and only 63 million of these people are South African, meaning 81,900,000,000, listen carefully, 37 million of these people are deprived of basic access to soul food because we have all the chicken lickens. Mzansi, this is truly a travesty. It's giving maths lit, but count yourself lucky because you can help the rest of the world. How? By becoming a Soulfluencer, and you'll stand a chance to win a trip to anywhere in the world. You can also win your share of up to 20 million rand in instant prizes along the way. Visit soulfoodtotheworld.com or Chicken Licken's socials to find out how you can show your support and win. T's and C's apply. Chicken Licken. Soul food.
The Swedes have this word, lagom. It means just the right amount. Not too much, not too little. It already sounds like a South African word. Lagom. Lagom. And that's exactly how we've refreshed the Volvo XC60. New grille, new interiors, new colors, new wheels. Just the right amount of new to make you fall in love all over again. The refreshed Volvo XC60. The car Mzansi loves. Now, with even more to love. Discover more at volvocars.com. It's safe to be brave with Volvo.
Dlala Madlula, coach. The games are out. Who are you betting on?
Dlala Madlamin, top player. On Sports Stake 4, I'm going with the strongest defense.
Nice one, coach. But I'm going with the goals.
What's that, Coach Amanda? Now it's up to the fans to dala, or rather dlala what they must. Dlalu 4.
Sports Stake 4 for only R2. Pick win, lose or draw for 4 games and you could win. Play at any participating National Lottery retailer. Be enjoy a game. Panda push up play. Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. Ituba is the proud operator of the National Lottery.
Babe.
Hey.
Are you looking at tiles again? Did you hit the jackpot and not tell me?
A little something like that, darling. With Marawa Insurance, we don't wait 3 years to get something out. It's my cashback. We'll be able to give our kitchen that mini revamp a lot sooner. Aesthetics, babe.
Introducing My Cashback from My Way. Stay claim-free for just 2 years and get 10% of your premiums back to live your way. Go to myway.co.za and get a quote today. My Cashback is is a feature on qualifying products paid after 2 claim-free years and all premiums paid. MyWay is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's and C's apply.
The new iPhone 17 is more delightful. With an 18-megapixel center-stage front camera, a brighter 6.3-inch ProMotion display, and Ceramic Shield 2, it's more durable than ever. So get yours now on SA's best network for just $879 per month on MTN Yellow Plans Prime. Visit an MTN store or mtn.co.za now and switch to Simple. T's and C's apply. Today we make moves. MTN.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
South Africa's very own, commanding respect across North Africa. Live right now, though, on MSW. The head coach of MC Alger, Rulani Mukwena. And congratulations on the success so far.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to speak to you, Big Rob. Hearing your voice makes me miss South Africa. So I hope everything is well.
Are you looking forward to the return?
I hope it's a welcome return. I miss South Africa. I miss South African football, the South African public. But also in Algeria, we are well looked after. The people are very warm and friendly. We are happy, and hopefully we can come to South Africa also to share this happiness.
Hey, I know I had to jump in. There to congratulate that young man. Coach Mulungisi is doing well. And we are proud of him as South African football fans. And then we can't wait to see him against his former club here.
What did I miss?
#MSW. #MSW.
Hi, Rob. Greetings to you and all the listeners. This is Joel from Wattville in Benoni. I've listened to the clip that you played of the coach Hugo Bruce with the squad that's going to play in the friendly. But then I'm also hearing him saying he doesn't see Tembinko Silochi as being the future, despite the player doing well and scoring goals. I don't know, maybe he's taking it from the tactical point of view. I can just comment as a soccer fan, but to me, I think it's a bit harsh. Yeah, I'm saying this. I can be corrected if I'm wrong. That's how I see it. Thank you, Rob.
All right, thank you so much indeed as we take your reactions to that. But at the same time, though, we welcome back one of our major exports. We are very, very proud of all the successes that she continues to put out there on the international stage. As we welcome back, just the other day, the Protea women at OR Tambo International Airport. And I've been saying ever since, because we were watching it right here real time on television, on the news. Kaz, I don't know. I think we've seen that when it happens, for football, for rugby. It almost becomes like part and parcel, or if maybe one of the top athletes does well in the Olympic Games. Josiah Tugwana is from back in those days. Caster Semenya comes back. There's a hype at the airport. But for women's cricket, what do you make of that?
It was such a defining campaign by the girls. Such a defining campaign. Natalie and I felt a little bit robbed on the first game, 69 all out. We kind of looked at each other. We're like, we need that game to be played again. It was such a low. And we all looked at each other and we're like, aren't they kind of one of the favorites to get into the semifinals? How do you move from that to 5 wins in a row? Yes, a bit of a stumble against Australia. But the greatest moment of this campaign was not really them playing in the final. It was pitching up in the semi-final and knocking England out so spectacularly. I'm not sure. And some guys have been arguing with me on social media. And I'm like, it's okay. You can agree that Gary Kirsten's knock was greater than Laura's. But I'm going to say that was the greatest ever knock played by a South African in a World Cup. The way she paced her innings. And in the end, it's like the fighter came out the gate. She stormed into those last 10 overs and she just swung hard. For South Africa to have scored what they did and then to deny England and to get into the final, the first ever senior team, male or female. So breaking yet another barrier. I feel that the fans have been building. Cricket South Africa's work to grow women's cricket, everything all came together at the airport. And while they may not have had the silverware, this is a sign of things to come. So if you're involved in cricket in any way, whether you're an administrator, a player, a coach, a sponsor, don't take this moment for granted ever.
Yeah.
Australia and England, who have some of the best setups in the world, failed to get into the final. I tend to feel right now that the good old-fashioned South African fight takes you to the final, but something else has got to give in order for us to now win it. Because it's not about whether we can make finals. Now we can. We've had 4 finals now, 3 from the senior women, 1 from the under-19 women. So we can make finals, but what takes us to silverware? And I think those are the really good, hard conversations to have now. So our Tambo was nice and euphoric, but it's back to hard work now, I think.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying about the change that it brings to the women's game. And there'll be many motivated women, parents listening to the show now to say, you know what, my girl, there's actually hope. I mean, for once, the entire country was watching very closely. The welcome that they received was one of just everything from the heart, really. But you could tell, as pleased as we all were, I know, sure, you go back and you say lost by 52 runs. They were shattered. I mean, I read some of the tweets from a lot of the ladies who tweeted afterwards, some even adding biblical quotes, trying to understand and get a sense of what it was that had just happened. They wanted to get into that final to win it. Yes, the disappointment is that you win or lose. We all know that. What was it like when the cameras are off, the credits had rolled, and you got to now witness the real finalists that did not win?
South Africans hate losing. I think we just need to put that out there. We always believed that we should have won. So if you had to rationalize and look at the scorecard and look at the lack of partnerships, and perhaps Annika Bosch could have done something. Annery Derksen was so impressive. I mean, she's a next-gen star for South Africa. We can look at all that, and I'm sure we can find a way to get them across the line. There are a couple of reasons I feel that India won. This was their 3rd final. They had tasted real raw defeat in 2 finals before then. Harmanpreet Kaur was there for the last 2 finals. She had been within touching distance. There were so many players in that Indian team hungry and on that field to ensure it never happened again. So that's the emotive part. Like 8 years, India had been waiting for that. But one of the very interesting threads that came out of the World Cup, listening to Indian broadcasters, fans, just people in the game, it was the 2020 semi-final against Australia, where they were so disappointed that it sparked the most incredible change in Indian cricket. It's when the Women's Challenge was launched, and then it brought the WPL. Rob, go into that final and look at how many of those Indian players play in the WPL. Share change rooms with some of the biggest stars in the world. Play in pressure cooker environments in that WPL. You have these youngsters playing in their first World Cup final in South Africa, punching above their weight, taking on an Indian team in the most insane environment. When you walk out there, you feel like you're at war. Yeah. Although they really appreciated Laura and gave her a standing ovation when she got to 100. This was India's World Cup to win. It was destiny. They had put so much into the game. And I did tweet, we have made strides in South African cricket. And again, I say hats off to Cricket South Africa, most progressive sports federation for women's sport in the country. We need a franchise league. We need something like the WPL, the 100, the WBBL. You look at those Indian players and they look like they're up for a fight and they were ready for it. The catch that Amanjot Kaur took to dismiss Laura Wolvaardt, anyone else would have dropped it. She was not going to drop it. They have been in pressure cooker environments in the WPL, and now almost everyone is saying the launch of India's real dynasty came on the back of real heartbreak. So I know these players will be hurting. Players like Marizanne Kapp, Chloe Tryon, these players who have played for a very long time. Laura Wolvaardt will be most devastated. Yes. She'll give up all the accolades, leading run scorer, everything, even captain of the tournament. An outstanding leader, a truly outstanding leader. We've made so many strides at this World Cup. For me, the biggest stride is Coach Mandla Mashimbyi. Someone tweeted me, it's not the coach, it's the players. I'm like, don't worry, it is the coach.
But if it was the flip side of that,
then it is the coach.
And
he's got to walk the plank. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, he's only been in the job for 11 months.
Yeah, but man, he's made such a difference. He has trusted players. He has said to Sanala Jafta, you won't hide at 9. You will go work on your batting. The last couple of months, she worked on her defense. Then she worked on taking on the game. And in the 2 games where we absolutely collapsed, England and Australia, one of the top run scorers in those disasters was Sanala Jafta. And it came down to Mandla and the responsibility placed on her shoulders. Almost every player in that team got a game at the World Cup. How often we just have a playing 11. If it ain't broke, why fix it? He really went about giving different opportunities to different players. I hope that he stays on board because he's really bought into women's cricket. He's brought his own very unorthodox way of coaching. Silverware, I know we say is around the corner, but we've got to take action for that to happen.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned it. Just 2 things, because I spoke to Mandla before they left. I'll mention something that you've talked about now, where there are a lot of firsts. So I want to tackle the issue of one of the firsts. So one of the firsts is also Miso coming in. So when you look at Garabo comes in as the youngest in the tournament, or maybe even the youngest ever at the age of 18. And that is saying that, sure, be part, feel the World Cup, feel maybe not the final, but be in the mix. So when you talk about Mandla giving all the ladies an opportunity to play a part in it, that comes to mind. Another area that you touched on was that they were not going to drop any balls because they knew what it meant to have been in the final on 2 occasions. The flip side, the irony is that is where maybe we were found wanting when it came to fielding, the drop balls. So at times on any other given day, those would be clear catches, but it wasn't the case. At what level? I mean, it's not going to take us 2 more World Cups now, Kass, surely, to get there. I would say the next one.
Again, I go back to the experience these women have playing in the WPL, the WBBL, the 100. Look at Laura. Laura plays in all those leagues around the world. So does Chloe. So does Marizanne. They had great World Cups. I'll tell you who had a fantastic World Cup is Nadine de Klerk. Not since Lance Klusener in 1999 did we have someone that walked out there with the unbelievable belief that she had in herself. I mean, she comes out there, South Africa in absolute dire straits. We're thinking India winning, beating South Africa in Visakhapatnam. This is the league game. And then she just swings. Someone tweeted the other day, no cricketer in the world scares me most than Nadine de Klerk. So we've got all these stars. Perhaps the next one we won't let go because the next one is the T20 World Cup. It will be our 3rd final if we get there. But again, I'm so proud of this team because with the limited opportunities you have for game time, you mentioned Karabo Miso, she's still eligible to play for another under-19 World Cup. Yeah. So what we have in her is someone who is, she's chirpy, she's fun, she's great. She's also so technically correct behind the stumps. She's a good batter. She's someone with the right amount of experience and game time will start dominating in South African colours. There's some youngsters in the under-19 setup that I feel need to be taken care of. Mona Lisa Lakhodi and Tabiseng Nini. There's Simone Lawrence, Gemma Joy Botha. We do have the under-19s. So yes, we talk about wanting this league to be set up, but what about connecting the dots between all the levels to make sure that the ones that stand out keep standing out? It's so easy to just let talent fall apart because youngsters go through so much. There's so many issues and challenges that they deal with. So better communication from everybody.
Yeah.
Ultimately, though, I still feel that the lack of women in leadership in cricket is actually holding the game back.
At what level?
At all levels.
Yeah.
I mean, how many female CEOs do we have at the union level?
Yeah, no.
None.
It doesn't work that
no.
way.
And so the thing is, if you start taking care of all of these from the grassroots up, and knowing what we know that this team can make finals. Imagine how much better we can do. And so there's just a lot of work that needs to be done. And if you look at it as we've got to do all this work, you'll probably be a little bit afraid of it. But look at it this way. We're within touching distance of a World Cup trophy. And I can't imagine what's going to happen when that trophy comes home, because we celebrate everything and that will be on another level. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot going through my mind about the things that we can get right. But my overwhelming feeling is one of absolute pride in what this team has achieved.
Good evening, Rob, and good evening to Kass Naidoo. Rob, I just want to say a big shout out to Kass Naidoo for holding it down once again for South Africa and flying the flag very high at the recent Women's Cricket World Cup. You handled interviews with so much enthusiasm, warmth, grace, and top-tier professionalism. And indeed, class is permanent. And once again, I just want to thank you, Rob, for what you did for Kass's career. And you are a true embodiment of lift others as we rise. And from you, Kass, I just want to find out what would have been the biggest highlight for you in the recent Women's Cricket World Cup. Thank you so much. May you continue shining and raising the South African flag very high out there.
Tebogo, thank you so much indeed. Your highlight?
Oh, so many highlights. Probably the one that stands out is going to Visakhapatnam and hosting India versus South Africa. I was nervous. I was super nervous about going there because I knew I would get emotional. Grieving my mom, it's just been ebbs and flows, and there are days I'm doing really well and days I'm not doing so well. And the day before that game, I had a huge emotional breakdown in my room, and I had to talk my way back to the level that I was comfortable opening up my commentary roster and looking at all the things I needed to do. I was so emotional when I arrived in the city, and I knew that there was a reason I was emotional. When we were kids, my mom always spoke about where we came from. And I used to say, I'm South African. I don't want to know about India. And then I get to Visakhapatnam and I feel the feelings that perhaps I didn't know I needed to feel.
Sure.
And so when I did the game, I kept having to ground myself and be in the moment, every moment of that game, or I was going to cry. And after the game, when I got to the hotel, as I opened the door, I just burst into tears because it was such an emotional day and South Africa had won. So I haven't actually processed it, to be honest, and I don't want to talk more about it because as you can hear that it was a huge moment for me. What it did do, it made me really believe how much I love my country and what South Africa's done for me and the opportunities that I have gotten. So going to Visakhapatnam and seeing the young girls there and being able to spend some time with some young entrepreneurs and giving back, I felt like that was a nice way to connect. But it didn't make me feel like I now belonged in India.
Sure.
But what it did was it really strengthened the roots of my heritage, made me anchor down, and perhaps a full circle moment, another one that I've experienced on the grief journey and letting my mom rest in peace.
I'm glad you went through that moment because I think in previous interviews when you've touched on that, I mean, that's the ground your mom walked on, 57 years solid back then, will bring a level of strength, but it's also bound to break you down. And I'm glad that you used that moment to turn that energy into something that we would have never ever seen with our naked eyes, because you had to then hold off a double emotion. Now I fast forward to the final, and you almost have to handle the first batch of interviews on the field to celebrate India winning. And as a South African, now you almost have to dethrone yourself of all of that and become that professional that we all know you are. Cannot be easy. I think there was a certain time when I think there was quarter to tears all around, not because of anything, but because of India winning. And the storytelling that was happening on the field would have made anybody emotional. But for you to hold it down and hold it in, I think that's what really makes and separates you from the rest.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live at the same time. #MSW.
Every business owner knows that expenses don't go on holiday. But at Lula, securing funding for your business can feel like a vacation. With South Africa's first SME-only banking suite, you can now pause the payments and play with growth. Apply for up to 5 million rand in funding this November and only pay at the end of January 2026. Visit lula.co.za and use the promo code GROW2025. Experience business class funding today. T's and C's apply.
Tumi's playing past the stapler with the CEO's son. Tumi and the CEO started in the same position on the same day. But because the CEO's tertiary education encouraged original thinking to solve real-world challenges, he made an impact from day one, while Tumi's same old education kept him playing the same old game. If the impact of high-performance tertiary education is this clear, shouldn't you consider it for your child? Emirates. Thinking forward. Emirates is an educational brand of the Independent Institute of Education.
Dlala Madlula, coach. The games are out. Who are you betting on?
Dlala Madlamin, top player. On Sports Stake 4, I'm going with the strongest defense.
Nice one, coach. But I'm going with the goals.
What's that, Coach Amanda? Now it's up to the fans to dala or rather dlala what they must. Dlalu 4.
Sports Stake 4 for only R2. Pick win, lose or draw for 4 games and you could win. Play at any participating National Lottery retailer. Be a game. Panda, push up, play. Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. Ituba is the proud operator of the National Lottery.
Join us at Hirsch's from the 31st of October to the 30th of November as we reveal the biggest Black Friday deals weekly. Huge savings on TVs, appliances, aircons and much more. Save 2,000 Rand when you purchase an AEG washer dryer for 10,999 or get a Kenwood Power Blender for 799. Black Friday deals available in-store online at Hirsch's.co.za. Stock is limited. T's and C's apply. Hirsch's, we will save you money.
On Thursdays at Panarotis, sharing is not caring if your sister likes pineapple on her pizza, but you don't. It's not caring if your mom likes vegetarian and you like pepperoni. Luckily, you don't have to share. Get the classic Monsterito Quattro, 4 classic pizza flavors on one massive, almost half a meter wide pizza for only $199.90 every Thursday. Perfect for sharing, or not. Panarotis, big on family, big on pizza. T's and C's apply.
Kiss Kiss presents the Gypsy Kings live in South Africa. Join us for a brand new festival heating up Joburg this summer, where music and food collide for one unforgettable day festival. Featuring the Gypsy Kings, Beatenberg, Roy Turbo, Balkanology, Bomb Shelter Beast, Femi Koya, Slow Poison, Sinua, Bambaleo, and so much more. 23 November, Emmarentia Dam. Grab your tickets now on howler.co.za.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Let's kick it. Let me start with an issue that has dominated headlines. Vincent Seka, he was not present when the second card was issued, as he has left the field to fetch ice for the players.
That's why we're reaching out now to Mobile Ndlovu, Director, Cash and Sport Research and Advisory. You believe the story?
The minister put himself between a rock and a hard place by stating publicly that he was going to get accountability. Letter to FIFA was a preemptive letter to say, by the way, we're not trying to interfere. Getting accountability and all of that could have been seen as interference. Already it didn't matter whatever the outcome was. He was always going to have to accept it.
I think this is just a joke to us, the soccer fans. This is just a joke to me.
Well, we are going to the World Cup, so the matter is closed.
Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW.
International cricket commentator, G Sport for Girls founder, multi-award winner. I can go on and on and on. She's our guest here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Kass Naidoo. A gift on Twitter says that from a cricket tournament to hearing about how the kids are tormented by crickets in the yard. He says, truly proud of the Protea women, and the only way is up from here. He says, please greet your guest on my behalf. Gift, thank you so much indeed. She is here, and the executive saying the best. Remember her very, very well. I was still very small. Hey, so how long have you been in this?
Too long.
And I think this is one. You see, this thing about funny names. She grew from a full-grown woman right in front of us, from her days as a cricket live reporter to where she is now. Thank you so much. From the People Shall Govern, your voice notes are coming through as well.
Mr. Marawa, thank you with the show you are having, showing that even in cricket we have women's, and then Tarop, let this be an inspiration. Tarop, I'm working at a school which I cannot name now. Tarop, I've sent you photos. We need to encourage them as early as possible. Tarop, not for only for ourselves, for them and them country. Tarop, tanko mluleke mkondo.
She speaks well. She knows stuff like AC. Good Lord, Kass. Yeah, ne? One of her own. Yeah, no. No. She speaks very well. She knows her stuff. No doubt about that. No doubt at all. Oh.
Good evening, Mr. Rob. It's Wolvaardt here, and good evening to the MSW shoulders, and good evening to Madame Kass Naidoo. First of all, I love the work that you do in as far as cricket is concerned. You continue to be an inspiration, Madame, and congratulations on your amazing career so far. And as far as cricket is concerned, I just want to find out from you. I mean, the preparations for the Proteas, and as far as the 2027 ICC Men's World Cup that'll be here in South Africa, I think maybe a year before there's going to be the T20 World Cup in India and Sri Lanka. Fresh off the Proteas' loss in the T20 stance against Pakistan, do you think maybe there is room for improvement? Where can the Proteas improve? When can they become better so that they can be a force to be reckoned with in the T20 World Cup and in the ODI World Cup that is still to come? That's what I want to find out from you, as you have the expertise in as far as all things cricket is concerned. That's what I want to find out. Great show as always. Thanks.
Hey, Hulafalang, thank you so much indeed. Kass, over to you.
It's an interesting time. Shukri has a great opportunity with these series to have a look at the resources he has. And it's going to be challenging, I think, ahead of the men's T20 World Cup to settle on that World Cup squad. But certainly another opportunity to put themselves into the knockouts. India and Sri Lanka, conditions that they've become used to playing in. I think of someone like George Linder, who I'd like to see in that T20 squad, a great spinning all-rounder. Very impressed with Lhuan-dré Pretorius, the youngster who, could do really well at the top of the order. What I like about Shukri Conrad is that he's not scared to make decisions, and it may not be popular with everybody, but he knows what he wants to get out of it. He's also coming on the back of winning the World Test Championship, so he's got that, I wouldn't say confidence, but certainly he can drop his shoulders and just get on with the work that he's got to do. 2027 ODI World Cup, there'll be a couple of players putting their hands up for that World Cup. And I do think it's going to be a challenge because host nations, World Cups, expectation, it just takes me back to 2003. Like, I don't want to go back there. Don't remind me.
Flashback.
Having said all of that, we've got some great talent around. Kagiso Rabada is just going to keep getting better and better, which is wonderful to see. I've been impressed with Corbin Bosch. I think he's really taken to the international scene and used all his experience domestically. So there are players there. Can they get them together for next year's World Cup? I think they can. 2027, no pressure, but we would like to see the Proteas win at home.
I know that from a leadership perspective, it does circulate from time to time, and Matthew Bretsky being thrown in as well. Yeah. What's your take on his recent performances, and what does the future hold for him?
He's a natural talent. I like him. I like what he's about. I think there's going to be quite a big battle for those top 6 positions. You've got a couple of players at the moment that are being rested. Ryan Rickelson's not in there. Rassie van der Dussen is not there. So when all these players start coming back, it's going to be a tough seat to occupy as coach of the national team. But performances are everything. So those that are putting their hands up at the moment stand in good stead. Tony de Zorzi, I've been really impressed with him, how he's played in the Pakistan tour. Quinton de Kock is back, and he's done really well tonight. Some nice natural talent. Having won the World Test Championship and got that silverware, is that going to be kind of like that domino effect? Win the T20 World Cup, then win at home in 2027. Remember, there are 2 T20 World Cups next year. The men play in Feb, and then the women are in England for the 26 Women's T20 World Cup. World Cups almost every year, so there's no 4-year wait where we can, mull on how sad we are as South Africans waiting for a first World Cup. It's coming. The opportunities are coming.
Yeah, I always say on the show, because there's a World Cup of some sort that's happening almost all the time.
Yeah.
In different sporting codes. As we sit here, another World Cup for the under-17. The men are playing in Qatar, the young men. Under 17, it's halftime against Qatar, the host nation. It's 1-1. Emil Vidboy having scored as well just before the halftime break. So we'll keep you updated with those on social media platforms. So looking out for that. They just got to win that, and then they get through to the knockout stages. The World Cup, I mean, we were just reminiscing during the break and saying that it was so many years ago before we qualified or last qualified proper outside of 2010 for a football World Cup. And 45 days now to go for the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations. There's 217 days until the FIFA World Cup. There's Commonwealth Games in 260 days. So we've been dipping in and out. And right now, though, great, you are here. What's my eyesight saying? It's 236 for 2. South Africa.
They should win this easy, 34 from 90.
All right. So that'll put it, So the cock, as you were saying, okay. Wow, look at those figures, 106.
Really good.
So he's not out still, in the crease. Bretzke spoke about him as well, with just a single run there. Yeah, so you're saying should breeze through this one?
They should breeze through that one. It's the platform is really well set, and you think when a batter gets 100, the rest of the batters are really going to stick around, get the job done. It was a total that needed a good start, and that's why, again, I'm quite impressed with Lhuan-dré Pretorius being so young, just taking to both the T20I and ODI format. We're reaching those dizzy stages in world cricket now where a batter can take a game apart, and you want to think about the top of the order and who can do that. I'm a big Pretorius fan.
We mentioned Quinton de Kock. I mean, him bouncing back. What do you think is going through his mind? What's the bigger picture for him? I mean, we know what he can deliver.
The break from the game made him remember how much he loved it.
Yeah.
I was speaking to Heather Knight. She was out with a really serious injury. If she went through the normal procedures, she would have been out for 6 months. And she went through this incredibly courageous way. She came back and I asked her, what is the thing that you really missed? And she said, I just remember how much I love the game, not being around. I just want to come back and enjoy it. And I hope that's been the case with Quinton de Kock. He's a dad. He still enjoys his fishing, but I think he's actually really keen to play in national colours again. Again, there's no World Cup position confirmed for him. He's still got to work his way through that. And this is a good way to announce to the coach that he's serious about it.
Where's Kass Naidoo right now? Where's she? What is she thinking? What's the bigger picture? A lot of what you dreamt about has happened. A lot of what you've dreamt about is currently happening. And when you're on the global stage, like you're on the global stage, so it's not about being on Sky, it's not about being on SuperSport, it's not about being on any individual broadcaster. It's a global sport. We all pick up the feed. Wherever you are around the world, that is where we see Kass Naidoo. For you now, is it about now just cementing your place in history in terms of what you do? Because you're many years away from retirement.
You heard it here on Robert Marawa.
Many years away from retirement.
My main focus coming home is looking ahead to 20 years of G Sport for girls. I wouldn't be in the position that I'm in had we not traveled the journey that we have. We've achieved a lot as an initiative, but my big challenge that I've thrown out to the team is who are we in the next generation of G Sport? If visibility was the key for the first 20 years, who are we and what do we mean to the industry? It's a great distraction from cricket because it allows me to uncricket quite quickly. We have 2 events still to come towards the end of the year. Every time I step onto the cricket field, I feel like it is a cherished gift that I should take such good care of and enjoy that moment. My mom's death has taught me to live in the moment, appreciate that feeling of whether it's joy or sadness or whatever it is, to feel the feeling so deeply that I enjoy life. So more World Cups, maybe. Every time I work with the best in the world, I want to be better.
What stage do you think you're in now?
I'm definitely old in the game in the sense that people come up to me and say, I remember watching you when I was a kid. Please meet my son. And he's also a cricketer. And then I think, oh, I'm that old. Then I look at Alan Wilkins and I look at Ian Smith and I look at all these guys who've been in the game 50 years. And then I know I haven't even started.
No, you haven't. You haven't. Just a quick one. We're out of time on G Sport. And one of the many things that I know you were lamenting couple of years back was about, yes, the visibility, was about the lack of sponsorship. Now the sponsorship has come through. The television element has come through. The awards are now live on TV and people can access them through that. I mean, that's a journey walked for you. What's bigger than what you have right now? Is it bigger sponsorship, more money plowed in so that more women throughout the country get the recognition that you give out?
Yeah, and probably going out of the continent and impact other cities around the world, as we have in Visakhapatnam and Barbados this year. But it's really about just being consistent, because the highs come because you take care of the daily actions. I keep saying to people, if we start thinking about the big picture too much, we will get off the fact that women's sport needs daily action. We take it at G Sport, and every woman that is empowered through the initiative is the victory.
All right, Kass, thank you so much indeed. I know that it's your rest time. You decided to come and rest with us for an hour, but we were not resting. I think the entire country was listening very attentively because we appreciate you so much, and continue doing the great work that you do.
Thank you.
You mean a lot to South Africans, and like you say, a lot of us have watched you grow. A lot of the younger ones are watching you grow. They're inspired. So a message just now from the lady and other people that are walking in your shoes and in your field. Continue to inspire, because sometimes you might not know them by name, or they're visibly present in front of you, but they're out there, and continue to shine. We're very proud, and thank you so much for spending the time with us. And the tournament again under your belt. Congratulations and well done. We're good to have you back.
Thank you, Rob.
Kass Naidoo, ladies and gentlemen, we're back again tomorrow. Marawa Sports Worldwide, proudly brought to you by Hollywood Bets.
The thrill, the drama, the action. Let the game begin. Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947, Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets. MSW.